All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, give honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Give a double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. And give a double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to be talking about 10 toes down. The realest guy in America. You know what I mean? Now, I was just looking at something with this brother, and I've been watching him off and on ever since he first got out of prison. He was on Sinetta TV, because I think him and Sinetta is cousins, right? So, I remember when he first kind of got out of jail, and he was on Sinetta Studios or Sinetta TV. And when I was listening to the brother, you could hear it in his voice that he wanted to do some things for the youth, and he's probably doing those things behind the scene. Behind the scenes, you don't know what people are doing in their life, but the thing that gets me about him is that I think the guy's in his 50s, I believe, almost 60, but what gets me about this guy is he's not his own man. And what I mean by that is he's still trying to hang on to a persona that got him locked up for 20-something years. See, a lot of people, they talk about what they do in the community, which is fine and dandy. But a lot of people that do a lot of work in the community, they just as immature and they just as immature as the regular people that they go outside and do community work with. And see, he's one of them. He goes at my man Hassan Campbell. He goes at Bullis Gotti. He goes at everybody. And then he tell people to be accountable for what they doing. But this brother is not being accountable himself. It's because he spent a lot of time in the mess of the YouTube streets in the pose of trying to get out here and deal with a lot of these kids that got the same rage that he had, that he ended up doing 25 years for. See, a lot of these guys, man, that's on these YouTube platforms, they don't care about the black community. It's because when you get on television, you're supposed to present yourself in a certain type of way. Every time you see this brother, he got that gorilla mentality. And see, that's not a good mentality to have if you're trying to set a certain standard for the people that's supposed to be following up behind you. See, he goes back and forth. He's like a stalker with Hassan Campbell. He was going at Zip the Drip and all this type of stuff. See, the white man knows us like the back of his hand. He knows that we love foolishness, right? And then this is why a lot of these guys is making headwaves on this internet. Because every time you see them, they're about controversy. Controversy sell. And see, controversy that I'm talking about is nothing, what you mean, revolutionary or things of this nature. All of this is this is clown stuff. This is Ringling Brothers, Ballerman Bailey. He want to be up under Bimmy, right? Bimmy is a known rat. And I'm telling you, I never seen a man a day in my life. But a lot of that stuff that they saying about this brother on the internet is not it's not false. A lot of that stuff is true. But you know what it is though? See, 10 Toes Down represents the old gangsters that was like from the 80s and the 70s. They getting out of prison. And now you see these young guys that used to look up to them. Now they just as bigger or bigger than who they are. So what they doing is they trying to remove a lot of these podcasters out the way so that they can take over the business. This is why these guys are steady getting into it with these young folks. See, Hassan Campbell really represent the young generation. See? And they hate the fact that these brothers is on this internet getting all this money. They need to get that money. So if that's the case, what is the upliftment for the young youth that's in the community? These guys are training these young guys to deal with problems and solutions going on the internet, talking back and talking about people. Or you see a guy in the streets, you gonna run up on him and knock him upside the head. This is what these guys represent, brothers and sisters. So you gotta pay attention to a lot of these guys. It doesn't matter if you do work in the community or whatever you're doing. You still gotta look at yourself in the mirror, right? And you gotta deal with self first. And that's what a lot of these guys is not dealing with. They still got that third grade mentality. So brothers and sisters, I hope that you got something out of the video. You know, if you watching these people and stuff like that, let's start watching these individuals for educational purposes instead of what? Instead of entertainment. See? How they educating us? They educating us by the low vibration that they bring on television every time you cut it on. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace, shalom.